Hello guys, and welcome to this month's exclusive Patreon video all about planning and prepping for Q2. I thought this would be nice for you to plan along with me. If you're a pear, strawberry or coconut, you can download these calendars and plan the next 3 months with me. I find this so therapeutic and I end up feeling so good about the next 3 months ahead of business. It just gives me a sense of clarity and an idea of what is going on, even though I know plans change and not everything will go 100% according to plan, and that's fine. This is made for flexibility, but at least I have an idea ahead of me, and I hope this helps you too. So let's get into it. So first of all, I start out by writing out the plans that I know are going to happen every single month, and that is mainly Patreon. So I add in the dates that I'm going to be posting the Patreon calendars, the Patreon podcasts, the coupons, the downloads, all the usual things that I post every single month in more or less the same format on Patreon. And that gives me a rough guideline as to how to plan my time around this. So if you have things that happen every single month that are always the same, I urge you to pop these into your calendars first. Now, as you may have noticed, there is no structure to this. I'm simply remembering all the things that I have to do each month and popping it in as I go. I can always add and remove things as I go on. There is no pressure. Next, I probably should have done this first, but I wrote in the notes section what the overall goal is for the months ahead in April. And I would love to achieve 2 launches this month. One small one I guess spring themed, and then one really big one at the end of the month. So that's the overall goal. And then I'm going to write in the little steps that I need to take each day in order to achieve these bigger goals. So I would love the mini launch to be on the 12th of April, but I'm pretty sure I've now changed this to the 14th on the Sunday, because let's be realistic, I'm not going to be able to plan and prep and launch something in 2 weeks. I'm just not going to be able to do it. And that's fine. If the plans change, then the plans change. That is all fine. But it's nice to have a rough outline, a very rough idea of timescales and things I want to happen. And if it doesn't happen on that day, it doesn't matter. But I'll aim for it anyway. And if I have to delay by a day or 2, that is completely fine. We are putting no pressure on ourselves here. This is just making a rough outline of things that we want to do over the next month. When adding these little steps in, I always think about the different aspects of the business. So what I'm going to be doing and what are the sort of things that I want to do in order to push these things. So I often add my marketing things, such as my emails or what to post on Instagram or what to do on social media. Of course, I'm going to post in between these, but these are the important things that I don't want to miss out. So for example, I'll have my mini launch email and the mini launch post on Instagram going out a day before the launch, and then the actual launch will commence on the Friday, and then I'll do loads on that day. And then I color code everything. So at the minute, I have all my Patreon stuff as pink, a very pale pink. And this just helps to separate things very easily once it's on my wall, very easy to see what I have going on that day. And I also leave lots and lots of space because I know plans can change and I will always be adding stuff. So at the minute, this calendar looks rather empty. But I know as the day goes on, this is going to get fuller and fuller and more overwhelmed. But we don't want to fill our days up straight away before the month even starts, because it's going to look so overwhelming already before we begin, and we don't want that. So I use hot pink to pop in all my important things that are going to push the business forward, and then I use yellow for my marketing. I think I use green for holidays, like UK national holidays, And then I use blue for personal things, and I'll show you that in a bit. I add things as I go and remember things as I go, like I'm just adding birthdays now. Yeah, there is no structure, but I just keep adding and remembering. And then at the end of it, we have a fully laid out structured month. Then I moved on to May, and at this point I found that a really helpful thing to do was to get your digital calendar, if you keep one, up in front of you, and then you can see all the national holidays and the bank holidays that are included. And these are the things that I forgot whilst planning this out. I actually started May in a better structure, better organised way by starting with the notes section first. And May is going to be my Patreon relaunch month, set for the relaunch to happen on the 1st of June. So I want to spend the entire month of May replanning all my tiers, all the structure on Patreon, getting out all this information to you guys and on Instagram and YouTube and everything. I really want to go in deep to Patreon throughout May, ready for a nice big relaunch in June. Because I've had the Patreon since 2020 and things have more or less stayed the same, but I've added things, I've taken things out, and I feel like it just needs a bit more of a spruce up. Like, I've added the co-working sessions, which are great. They're so popular. I love them so much. I want to bring these more to the front, I guess, of my Patreon membership and just things like that. I want to rejig the videos and the tutorials and make sure that I'm doing things the right way, I guess. There's a whole lot of things I need to think about. I want to simplify the tiers. I'm thinking of only having 3 tiers. I need to rethink the goodie boxes. There's just loads that I need to rethink. So I'm trying to plan out May the best way that I can to not only rejig everything, but also get all the information out and make sure the launch is great. So I'm just adding in bits like marketing, like what videos do I want to make, what podcasts do I want to make, how do I want to announce this on social media. There's a lot of things to think about. Plus, Patreon will still be running as it is normally. So I have to add in all my usual sessions, like the weekly co-working calls, the bi-weekly podcasts, the goodie box, all the things will be running as normal. I don't want to close Patreon for a month. It's just gonna completely change, hopefully, on the 1st. I think that's the best way to do it anyway. If you have any suggestions or advice or any thoughts, please do let me know, because this is for you. I'm making Patreon a space for you guys as part of the community, as part of the co-community. So I want it to be the best that I can possibly offer. So if you have any thoughts, please, please, please let me know. I want it to be the best. This is where I realised that I actually got the dates wrong in May. Don't worry, yours is correct. I have since fixed it, but I was like, why is this wrong? I'm so confused. My birthday's not on a Sunday this year. So then I double checked the calendar on my iMac and got to changing all the dates and mixing the days up. So let's get on with that. Making calendars, I always check things. I just didn't check this time, but it has been corrected for you guys, so yours should be absolutely fine. It didn't change too much for me, apart from the days that obviously my mum's birthday is on and my birthday, and the 1st of June is a Saturday, not a Sunday. So just things like that. The rest of the days, like the co-working sessions, the podcasts, everything else was exactly the same. I guess maybe the Thursday the 2nd changed, because everything that I've written on Thursday the 2nd will actually be happening on Wednesday the 1st. But not too bad, not too much to worry about. I also have Super Seconds Festival on the 11th and 12th of May, but I'm also in London those 2 days as well, so I'm gonna have to do a lot of scheduling, a lot of prep, a lot of organising for that to run smoothly whilst I'm not here. So that's what I'm planning now, is the emails, the posts, the taking pictures, putting it on the website, all those things that go behind Super Seconds Festival. There's a lot of work behind these second sales. And so I want it to go as smoothly as possible because I don't want to be stressing whilst I'm away, because that is just the worst. So hopefully this scheduling, this calendar will help me stay on track and make sure everything goes smoothly for those days. I also then think about what I'll be doing after London, after the Seconds Festival. So I've planned out 2 days to pack the Seconds orders then. And I fitted this in between the co-working sessions and everything else going on, and the Patreon relaunch as well. So hopefully I can fit everything in. Then it was time to do the usual, highlighting my favourite part, because this ends up looking so pretty. So again, I have pale pink for all the usual Patreon things like the co-working, the podcast, the calendar, the downloads, all things related to the usual Patreon things. And then I've also done an exclusive video, or I've scheduled an exclusive video to relaunch Patreon, to explain all the new things and everything going on just before the relaunch happens on the 1st of June. And then my hot pink, like I said before, is all my things that I find push my business forward, things that are non-negotiable, things that are super important. So obviously the Patreon relaunch and Super Seconds Festival is up there. One-to-one sessions, everything super important. And then I forgot we have elections on the 2nd of May, so that's going to be in green. And then I also forgot we also have bank holidays. There's 2 in May. I always forget about bank holidays, and these are important because these are days that the post office doesn't collect, or Royal Mail doesn't collect items, so I need to bear this in mind. So bank holidays go in green, and my holidays, my personal holidays, go in blue. And then we have marketing, so all my marketing and social media goes in yellow, things like emails, YouTube videos, everything like that. And then I've also introduced a new colour for May, which is lilac, and this is, I don't know, I guess just like work in between, like the little tasks that I have to do that are not like main tasks, but they are equally as important. And then it is on to June, and I start by adding in some of the things that were added in on the end of last month, so Pride Month, and then the usual Patreon things again. So I'm just going to speed this bit up a little bit, I think. Then I forgot to add in the bank holiday again from May. Towards the end of May, there's always a bank holiday, and I always forget about it. Back to adding in all the things that happen every month and every week without fail. So in the month of June, I am attending Stationery Fest for the first ever time, and that will be my overall goal for June, is to focus on Stationery Fest and focus on all the things that I want to launch at the event. I want to make my new updated Stationery Addict design, have it embroidered onto a sweater, get the little to-do list or things to remember embroidered onto the sleeve. I want to make an exclusive t-shirt and tote bags, washi tape. I might bring out a new little range of stationery and desk pads. I'm not entirely sure about that, but I want to just focus on that for the entire month of June. And then I'm going to spend the day exploring Manchester the day after. I'm so excited. So if you have any recommendations of what to do in Manchester, please let me know. So in June we also have Father's Day, and whilst I don't push these sort of holidays much, I do have a few Father's Day cards. So I'm just going to schedule a little email or a post to go out just under, or maybe like a week before, just in case people want to order some cards from me for Father's Day. But it's not something that I'm going to focus on a lot. It's just one of those things that I don't want to forget. And here I'm just adding in the overall goals for the month. So like I said, Stationery Fest is the main goal. I want to launch new things. I want the stand, the setup to look good. There's going to be so much to do, and it's the longest that I've ever travelled for an event, all the way to Manchester. I don't think I've ever been further up than the Midlands, so this is going to be such a huge deal for me. And then I just start to plan out when I want to order things in. So I want to order in the sweaters around maybe the 4th, maybe sooner, and get printing on the 7th. Just some rough guidelines. If I can do things sooner, then I will, but these are the rough dates that I want to do things. So I want to print the mugs, t-shirts, pouches, pencil cases, things like that on the 7th. That will give me enough time to take pictures and get them all ready. I would like to take the t-shirts and the sweaters over to the embroidery shop on the 5th, because if I order them on the 4th, they will be with me the next day. So I'll drop them all over to the embroidery shop on the 5th. That gives them 3 weeks to embroider. I hope that's like long enough, I think. I mean, if I feel like I need to do this sooner, then I will, but these are just like rough guidelines for now. I need to take pictures of things, I need to schedule in emails, tell everyone about Stationery Fest, make sure the marketing is on point. There is so much to do in June already, and I'm already feeling a bit overwhelmed, but luckily this calendar should keep me in check. And of course, I still want to make my vlogs and put out behind the scenes content. Maybe I can film all about the prep for Stationery Fest and how it's going. I'm thinking the Patreon goodie box this month should also be stationery themed, just to go with the theme of the month. And then I'm just adding in a little Father's Day Instagram post as well, just something so that I don't forget about it. And then it's time to colour code everything. And there we have it. I have just planned out April, May and June. Rough guidelines, no pressure. If things don't happen on the days that I say they're going to happen, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. But this rough guideline, this schedule should keep me in check, and I should be able to handle things a lot more smoothly than I would without this plan. Because without this, I think I would just be thinking, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have any idea. So I've just replaced these on my wall. I like to have them above my desk so that I know what I'm doing each day. I know what I'm planning for. I like to see the 3 months together, just in case there's something that I see that I need to do maybe in 3 weeks' time that I could possibly do today. I hope you found this useful. I hope that you've had fun planning out your Q2 with me. And here's to a happy, fulfilling, successful, productive next 3 months. Thank you so much for watching, and I will speak to you soon.